Hey, what is going on, my beautiful Pisces and handsome ones too? um, Butch Darrow here. I am going to do a 1 week read. It is a general read, so it may not resonate with everyone. It is for your sun, moon, rising, and your Venus. For all you cross watchers, roles can be reversed. Always feel free to comment down below. I highly recommend it. Sometimes it's just therapy to get it out. But I do try to read every comment. Sometimes it takes me a little bit, but I do try, and I will continue to try. So don't think it goes unnoticed. Anyway, to begin this, I'm going to pull an oracle card from the Earth and Bone Oracle. Universe, give us a message for Pisces. Transformation, end of cycle, beginnings, ascension. I got this deck and I ordered it not knowing what I was getting. I'm so in love with it. The only downfall is it's so tiny. Like, I have big hands and this is a tiny deck, but look at this. Look how cute this thing is. It's called the Pink Gothic Tarot. The artwork is amazing. I love pink on black. I don't know what it is. I wish I could wear it more, but I do like pink on black. Anyway, with all that being said, let's get it. Universe, what message do we have for Pisces? What do we have for Pisces, universe? All right, Pisces. So the first thing I'm getting is, we have the Three of Cups, so I feel like there's this energy. This person is I feel like is somebody that you know. For some of you, maybe someone new, a new friend. For others, this may be someone you're already in a relationship with, or at least on the verge of it. You know what I mean? Like, you want something from this person. You want, you feel this connection with this person. It's a deep connection. We have this Lover's card. And like you all know, when I think of the Lover's card, it's the iceberg love. We can see it. We know it's there. But we have to get closer, and we have to get closer. We both need to get closer to it to see it, what it is, for what it really is. Having a hard time talking today. With the iceberg, if you think of it as the image of an iceberg, and that's why I give it to that, it's like, it's so deep that we know, we can see it. It's clear as day. And the closer we get to it, the more we really see how deep this goes. But with this person, I just feel it just feels like this person is closed off. Like energy is telling you everything here, but words, I mean, I feel like with this person, we have the Eight of Swords. It's that self-imposed prison. It feels like they're keeping you out, and it feels intentional. Like they're intentionally keeping you out. And we have the High Priestess. So I mean, I like I said, I feel like how you feel about this person, and I feel like you know how they feel about you, or at least you think you know. You may even just hope you're right. A feeling this strong can't be one-sided. It just can't be. And I feel like that's what your intuition is telling you, that it can't be. But I feel like how this person's acting, whether it be lack of communication, for some of you, it may be just that resistance that you feel when you're around them. Like I said, with that Eight of Swords, is that self-imposed prison. Like they're locking themselves away. Don't doubt yourself, your intuition, though. I feel like it's spot on. And I say this, and I'll say it again. Pisces are very intuitive. A lot of times they just don't listen to it. Trust yourself, because, like I said, some of the most intuitive people I've ever met are Pisces. It's learning it's learning to harness that. It's your superpower, and you got to learn how to use it. Trust it. Now, with this person, like I said, I mean, you are right. There is something going on with this person. I just feel like with this person, I feel like there's a defensive energy. We have the Nine of Wands, and I feel like they're defensive because I feel like their imaginations get the best of them. They're keeping you at arm's length on purpose. With that Moon card, it's their imagination is getting the best of them, and so it makes them defensive. It's almost like they're pushing you away on purpose. And it's not self-preservation. They're not trying to save themselves. They're trying to save you. I mean, this person, we have the Hermit, so I feel like this person with this Virgo energy, I feel like they're very stuck in their own head. Like I said, that self-imposed prison matches well with this. I feel like this person is in their own little world sometimes. I feel like this person loves you more than you think you do, and I feel like it may shock you how deeply this person cares about you. And this just goes to show. I mean, the five of cups. I feel like this person's looking at the negatives and the positive. I feel like this person they think they're gonna screw it up. Let's cut right to the chase. Instead of beating around the bush here, I mean, there's this internal struggle. This person wants to give you everything, but they feel like they're gonna screw it up. They don't want to hurt you. And that just goes to show how deeply this person cares about you. They don't want to hurt you. And they feel like if they give into this, they're going to hurt you. Like they don't feel like they deserve you. They don't feel like they're good enough for you. I mean, this person's overthinking the shit out of this. I mean, they feel this connection with you as deeply as you feel it with them. Even more so, to be honest with you. And I feel like this person has a hard time trusting themselves. I don't feel like this person was ever really lucky in love. And then they met you, and you're everything they were dreaming of. It's like a fairy tale. And I don't want to sound corny when I say that, but that's exactly what I see here. I mean, when they're with you, they feel like they're home. They feel like they're where they belong. But because of their being bad at love, in their opinion. They don't want to hurt you. They feel like they're gonna screw it up, and if they screw it up, that means they hurt you. And I feel like that's what this person does not want to do. I mean, they want to move forward. They want to give you everything. You know, this person is underestimating themselves. You know, I feel like this is someone very loving and someone that will be loyal to you. You know, I feel like this person is all the things that you've been missing in your life, and they could offer you that. I just feel like they underestimate themselves. You know, we have the Chariot, that Cancer energy, the Eight of Pentacles. I mean, this person will show up, and it's because they do love you. You know, it's a very mature, emotional energy. I mean, this person desires this connection with you. They desire it. They've been dreaming about this. They've been fantasizing, and now they're in a place where they feel like they're home, and they just don't want to screw it up. And that's, like I said, that Five of Swords we talked about, or Five of Wands, that internal struggle. It's killing them not to be able to tell you how they feel. I mean, they want to shout from the rooftops. But it's almost like they feel like if they keep you at a distance, you're out of the blast radius. Like whatever bad luck they have won't rub off on you. But they want to rub off on you so bad. That came out really terrible. They couldn't have met a better person for this, though. I mean, I feel like it's about patience. It's about communication. It's about finding balance and realizing that you deserve them as much as they deserve you. You know, right now they're in a place where they feel like they don't deserve you. But I feel like with communication, we'll find balance in this connection. I feel like that's the only way to find balance. I feel like we need to communicate. And I feel like if we do that, we will find the balance. You know, and with that Temperance, a Sagittarius, and we have Scorpio with the Death card, I see a huge transformation. And I feel like I said, this person is already all in. They're all in. They've been all in. They just haven't told you yet, but they will. Like I said, I feel like the communication is coming, and I feel like you're going to get some answers. I feel like it's going to shock you to hear the truth from this person, to hear how deeply they really care about you. I mean, they just feel like they're protecting you. We have the Emperor energy. It's almost like they feel like they're doing you a favor, but they don't realize that they're really not. You know, them holding back the love they want to shower you with is not doing you any favors. And I feel like with communication and them, them giving to this, and the more they give to it, the more they'll find balance in it. I do see it moving forward quite impulsively, though. I do feel like there's going to be a moment where they just let their walls down and you get to really see who they are. And that's when we start to move forward. That's when, they start to feel that balance. And that's when they feel that desire. And that's when they feel the ability to actually have what they want. They want you. With the Knight of Wands, like I said, it's very impulsive. So I do feel like there's this moment where there's just this resistance breaks. It comes down, the walls come down, like that self-imposed prison, the door flies open, and you get to see how they really feel about you. And that, I feel like that just gives you confirmation you're in the right place. Like I said, I don't feel like they could have met anybody better. I kind of, way I see it is like they almost like they need They didn't know this is okay. I feel like you both need that. I feel like you both need to know that this is right. Like, you both feel this way. You both want this. So why fight it? It'd be easier to fight for it. Like I said, I mean, I see a lot of big changes coming, and I feel like there's, I'm stuck on this one moment where, the walls come down, and you really get to see how they see you. You really get to see how they feel about you, and that gives you a little insight into them, and it gives you some confirmation that you're not barking up the wrong tree, that you're not, that your intuition is right, that there is a lot more here than is being said. And I feel like once they feel okay in that space, you'll see it more of them, more from them. Like I said, I mean, it feels like home. And they want to stay home. With you, it feels like that safe place. They're trying to be your protector without even telling you about it. I mean, like I said, they don't want to hurt you. And I don't feel like they have really the ability to hurt you, in the sense that I feel like they just overestimate their bad luck in love. A lot of times we have bad relationships, and we take a lot of the brunt on ourselves, and we blame ourselves when it can be so many other things that have nothing to do with us. We'll talk about that in a minute. With this person, we have Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio. We have Aries, Sagittarius, Gemini, and Libra. We have some Virgo as well. So many people think they're just bad at it, They're bad at it. I thought that way. I can relate. I thought that way. I thought I was just terrible. Not so much bad in relationships, just bad at picking them, Like, I picked some real bad ones. Fortunately for me, when I got with Rose, she picked me. Maybe she has better luck than me. But you get it in your head. It's like anything else. It's like you go to apply for a job, and you don't get it. You apply for another job, you don't get it. You apply for 50 jobs, you don't get them. You start to think, is it me? Am I the problem? And it gets in your head. Sometimes the worst place to be is inside your own head. You think that, all these things, and you think you're the factor. I mean, sometimes relationships end not because of either person, just because it wasn't meant to be. You weren't meant to be with that person, and it's a good thing. It doesn't feel like it in the moment. Like, I talked about this before. The only really long relationship I had before Rose, other than my high school crush, I was with her for 4 years, and first year we got along great. We were really good friends, and I feel like that's where we screwed up. It shouldn't have been anymore. It should have been a friendship. We shouldn't have pursued anymore, but we did. After a year dating, she ended up moving in with me, and very quickly the issues started arising. But I'm one of those people that I'm gonna make it work. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna make it work, and I had that stupid mentality, like I could control it. I love that guy. His bike is so noisy. Anyway, so I knew I wasn't meant to be in that relationship, and I tried to make it work. She wasn't the person I thought she was in a relationship. It completely ruined our friendship. But I kept trying to make it work. Even when I didn't want to be there, I tried to make it work. Because I don't like, I had this thing with failure. Like, I felt like if I failed, that was a mark on me. Um, but anyway, she ended up sneaking around with this other guy. And when I found out about it, I walked away. And I mean, I could blame her. Obviously, she could take some of that blame, but I blame myself as well because I knew we shouldn't have been in that relationship. I knew long before that happened. And when that happened, it was almost like that I knew she wasn't for me. The mask came off. I wasn't. I realized I wasn't. I was just fighting a win. A losing battle, as they say. So my point is that sometimes bad shit happens to good people. Um, and with that relationship, it hurt because it was the loyalty that hurt. Being betrayed hurt, and I took it as I pushed her to it, and she told me that. She said things to me that trying to blame me for it. It took me years to figure out that wasn't my fault. That was something in her. So I thought I was toxic for years. I thought that I was just a bad boyfriend, or I was unlovable. And it took me years to figure out that it was something in her. And not only that, but not to give her all the blame, but it was also the fact that I knew that we shouldn't have been in a relationship, and I pursued it anyway. I continued on that relationship even though I knew it wasn't good for me, even though I knew it wasn't the relationship for me. I don't know why I do the hand thing. I don't usually watch my videos after I do them, but sometimes I see that and I'm just like, what are you doing with your hands, man? Like, I feel like I should tie them to the ground, to the table or something. But, just because someone has a bad relationship or 5 or 20 bad relationships doesn't mean you're the problem. It just means they weren't the one. And there's always a chance the next one will be. But don't throw in the towel before it even starts. And that's what I feel like with this person. I don't feel like they're necessarily throwing in the towel. I just feel like they're holding back because they're afraid. And everything you want is on the other side of fear. It's one of my favorite quotes. I love it. I love that quote because it is so, it is so true. Anyway, be good. Take care. Stay safe.